Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And here I have an article for you guys from the Business Wire. I will leave a link to this in the description in case you haven't seen it, so you guys could check it out. So T-Mobile brings new stores and more 5G to Texas. So this is just my honest opinion, and I'll explain it. But I think a move like this, and of course for other states as well, is more important than anything that T-Mobile got going on right now. I feel that what they're doing with the growth in the metros and the fixed wireless access, I think they're getting that without trying, right? The network is already very mature. They were able to add Sprint Keep sites. They were able to upgrade the already existing towers with 2.5. So that's relatively easy if you're looking at it from a business perspective. That wasn't too hard for T-Mobile to do. They had to set aside capital, and they had to go get the tower crews on board, right? And then let's just go and deploy it. And they've done that. They're at 300 million pops now. They were already existing across a large part of the metro areas. They just got better with the spectrum and the keep sites. And now the real work begins. The hard work, and that's getting to these rural areas. That's the hard work. That's where T-Mobile is underpenetrated. That's where they're trying to grow the scale and the market share. So seeing them, expand in Texas, add new retail locations, like I said, that's my opinion, but I feel that's more important for the company. That's more important for the company, shareholders, board members. Everybody should be more excited about this. Because these are areas where they didn't exist before, and now all of a sudden T-Mobile has retail, they got network. Now they can grow that part of the country as well. They weren't able to do this before. The metro areas are very saturated already. There's lots of competition going into them. There's MVNOs, there's cables, there's prepaids of the world. There's the other two, mobile network operators you're competing against, and T-Mobile does fairly well there too. But now getting going into the real rural areas, that's going to pay off massively for T-Mobile in the future. Now you can do the regional approach. You can bring your marketing. You can bring your grants to these areas, and you can bring the networking. And then, that will include fixed wireless access as well. So in these areas that had the least amount of options, maybe they're working off of satellite for home broadband, T-Mobile can now come in with the 2.5, and they can bring them a better solution, a better product, and likely at a better price. So it's a big deal, right? It's not just, this one is highlighting Texas, but we saw the ones that came out for, I believe it was Virginia, North Carolina, and there'll be many more of these types of articles coming out, I'm told. T-Mobile is effectively really expanding the network. They might not be in your area today, or, a surrounding radius of your area. Maybe you do travel 30 miles outside of city limits and T-Mobile's not there. But eventually they're going to get there. That's their goal. They're really targeting this in a sincere way. They're not just talking about it, right? They actually want to go chase this. They want to be at the size and scale of their benchmark competitor, Verizon. And they acknowledge that they're not there today. They know that. But in the future, they deployed 1,200 sites in Texas over 2 years. Texas is a large state, huge amount of square miles. There's other states that are much smaller that T-Mobile could likely cover in a single year with massive footprint. So you got to take all of that into consideration when thinking about T-Mobile, right? Like I said, today is today, and they're not there today. But by 2025, that's going to be a totally different story. And you can see the groundwork happening now. Will they be toe-to-toe just yet? As I said in previous videos, likely not, because Verizon and AT&T are also expanding. But T-Mobile doesn't have to be toe-to-toe. They just got to be able to compete. So if they add a new store and they add 3 towers in, Timbuktu, now they're competing. So even if they get 10, 15% share in that market, that's all T-Mobile needs. They don't need fair share yet. They will continue strategically and smartly deploying where it makes sense. And they continue saying that. They say it at the earnings calls. They say it at these conferences. They're in no hurry to push any bigger than they already are, because that'll come with price increases that we've recently seen are not going to be welcomed. You know, as they were trying to force migrate customers, that backfired totally. They didn't even proceed with that. They ended that and canceled that altogether. So that's just something that I wanted to discuss in this video. This is very important, and I think this is more important than anything that T-Mobile got going on right now, because like I said, fixed wireless access, Metro cores, the network's already mature. So they're doing that without really trying. But to get into these rural areas where they can serve some enterprises that have factories, they can serve rural communities, they're really trying, because they have no network there. So they got to go deploy. It's going to take a lot of costs out of the capital to really go and scale in these parts. So let me know your comments in the comment section. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.